we're going to go over the Module 2, Lesson 10 through 12 review. The directions say estimate the product, solve using any strategy. So any strategy means you could use standard algorithm, or you could use area model, or another technique that you know how to multiply to get the correct answer. Remember to express your product in decimal form. So A, they first want us to estimate. So that's what those little squiggly lines mean. 23.2. If we look at it, 23 is our whole number, and you want to make sure you're looking at the number, let me undo that. You want to make sure you're looking at the number before the decimal. So 23, if we're just looking at 23, 23 is going to become 20 because it's closer to 20 than it is 30. The 12 is going to become 10 because it's closer to the 10 than it is 20. And another way to do that is if you look at the number next door, if it's higher than 5, you're going to want to round up. That's a 3, so we're going to keep it the same. On the 12, it's a 2, so we're going to keep it the same. But if it was a 5 or higher, we would round it up. So 1 times 2 is 2. And then we have 1, 2 zeros, so that's why there's 2 zeros there. So our answer is 200. And then we're just going to use standard algorithm to solve. So they wanted the estimated product and then the actual product. So I'm going to set up my first number here, and then my second number on the bottom. 12 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. Make sure you're going through all the steps. Take your time. A lot of you are going really quickly and you're making easy mistakes. So just take your time, count it. 0 the hero, then you're going to start with the 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. And then we're going to add them. I forgot my adding sign, so let me add it. 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 2 is 8. 4 plus 3 is 7. 2 plus 0 is 2. This is where it gets kind of tricky because we need to remember where our decimal was. My decimal here, there's only one number after the decimal, so it's in the tenths. So my answer is going to be in tenths. And that is why I put the decimal right before the 4, because only one number can be after the decimal when I'm counting by tenths. So B, I'm going to first look at my first number. The only number that's before the decimal is a 4. I'm going to look next door, it's a 7, so I'm going to round it up to 5. Then I'm going to look at my second number. It's 67. 67 is closer to 70. You could also round it to 60. I accidentally did 60, but you could also do that. I'm going to fix it and do 70 just because that is a closer round. So that would be 35. Count your zeros. There's 1 0. 350. Then we're actually going to solve. So my 472 times my 87 or 67. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 7 is 49 plus 1 is 50. 7 times 4 is 28 plus the 5 is 33. 0 the hero. Go to the 6. Same exact. 6 times 2, 6 times 7, 6 times 4. And I got both of my partial products. I'm going to add them together. And this one is in hundreds. There is 2 numbers after the decimal. So I need 2 numbers after the decimal in my answer. And the estimate will help us because knowing that it's 300 tells me that my decimal needs to be around 300. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits there. So some numbers are going to need to go behind a decimal. So that just kind of helps us keep that in mind. Letter C. We're going to estimate. So if we're looking at our 7, the next door is an 8, so I'm going to bump it up to 8. Then I have 246. That is closer to 200. So 8 times 2 is 16. Count your zeros. There's 2, so 1,600. And then we're going to multiply. So I put my bottom number and my top number. And I got both of my partial products. well, all three of my partial products, because this is a 3-digit times a 3-digit. And so I did 6 times 3, 6 times 8, 6 times 7, 4 times 3, 4 times 8, 4 times 7, and I also put the 0 the hero. Put my 0 the hero twice because I moved to the hundreds position, and then 2 times 3, 2 times 8, 2 times 7. And then I added those up, and I got my answer. My decimal is in tenths hundredths, so I put it in the hundred spot, 2 digits after the decimal. And so my answer is 2 digits after the decimal. Looking at my estimate, I'm around 1,000, so it is pretty close. A little higher, but it is close. So that is the review for Module 2. And then there's going to be a word problem on the progress check. So Jake rode his bike every day for 27 days. He rode 16.4 hundredths miles each day. How far did Jake ride his bike in all? You're going to show your work and solve. So we need to know how many miles he rode his bike each day. And if he rode his bike 16.4 miles each day, we're going to take that number and we're going to multiply it by 27 because we want to know how much he did in all. So in all means we're probably going to multiply. So you could estimate here if you like that strategy of helping you figure out where your decimal point needs to go. But in this case, you do not have to estimate, but you can use that strategy. So 7 times 4, you're going to solve 7 times 0, 7 times 6, 7 times 1. Do not forget to add the numbers that you carry. Some of you are making that mistake. Then you're going to put your 0 the hero. Next step, 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. Carry your 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus the 1 is 3. When you add all that up, you get 433.08 miles. And then do not forget your answer statement. A lot of you are trying to forget this. Do not. Jake rode his bike for 433.08 miles in 27 days. And that's how you solve the word problem. Pretty simple word problem. It's one step compared to how we've been solving some 3-step problems. So just keep working hard and you should be able to master this progress check. Thanks for listening.